Welcome to Rasher Wagon. Today we're playing 7 days of Estate Agent Simulator. Let's get started. I'm just going to leave the settings on normal, day cycle normal. I picked my character, named him Rasher. Then my wife picked the character, which was Abigail, named her Steph. Let's knock out these tutorials, so we'll start by opening the suitcase and take the money. That's a little bit of money. $40,000 worth of money. Awesome. Next, we'll open up the inventory. Let's try talking to the wife. Map. Yeah, she doesn't seem to be interested. Okay, excuse me. Okay, thanks, bye. Alright. Skill tree. Let's head downstairs, go to the bus stop, and travel anywhere. Okay. I am playing this game using an Xbox Series X controller that I've mapped out. So I'm kind of getting the hang of things. Alright, get on the bus. Let's go to Shoreditch. It's only $5. Master of Lawyers. Press and hold Q to open and close the wheel display. Cool. Bug spray. Find houses. Find houses in the city looking for a real estate agent. We can do that. One off to the left, so let's head over here. Pretty big house. He's asking for 58. We've only got 39. Let's see what we can do to get it as cheap as possible. So I'm trying to figure out this bargaining thing, so I sped it up just a little bit. Didn't work out, so we're going to have to look for another place. There's one right over here. We struck out on this one as well, so we went to a third house, and that didn't work either. On my way to the fourth house, I saw a gift in the driveway. Go ahead and pick that up. But I continued on because we need to hurry and get a place so that way we can start renting it out. Along the way, I ended up finding a couple more gifts and was feeling kind of lucky with this fourth house. Sure enough, I got it for $15,500. Now we need to head inside and clean it up. And we'll take some pictures and we'll get this thing posted. See if we can get it rented out in the morning. The game told me to go home and sleep, but instead I decided to go around and pick up all the gifts that I could find. Along the way, I ended up finding this jolly fellow.
Ho, 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 ho.
I agreed to help Santa out because I don't want the children to go without presents on New Year's Eve. So I collected the rest of them, finding the last gift in my office. I then immediately ran back to Santa Claus in all the excitement so that way I could get the house and see what that surprise gift in the garage was.
Ho, ho.
I immediately went inside, redecorated a little bit so that way I could take some pictures and get this place up for rent in the morning as well. I ended up listing it for $37.50. Wanted to get a little bit more for this place than the last place. I drove home in the gift in the garage, which turned out to be a Christmas-themed Porsche. Before heading inside, I ate a donut, followed by some French fries. Went upstairs and I went to bed. On the second day, I hurried to my real estate office. I had to clean up the lot in anticipation for the customers that would be coming in. While I waited, I decided I would check my mail, and sure enough, I had a couple of guys waiting when I was done. Rented the first house to a guy for 17 days. On the second guy, rented it to him for 23 days. I then bought some French fries from a nearby vending machine. Called it a night. The third day was Wednesday. Noticed in the corner that it said auction. I was in a hurry to make it there because I wanted to buy every single crate there was. On my way, I decided to clean up the trash that was at my office. I won every single one, of course. Anytime anybody tried to outbid me, I instantly raised my hand. I raced back to my house because I knew I had to collect rent, so I did that next. I had a little bit of money to my name, so I decided to do some shopping, look for a house to buy. I must have been lucky because I got the first house first try. Next house took a little bit, but I ended up getting it for $6,500. Now it's time to do the regular cleanup and take some photos so we can get this thing posted, rent it out hopefully tomorrow. I then did the same thing to the first house that I purchased. More cleaning, more pictures, and then posting it in hopes that we can get it rented out tomorrow. Before heading home, I stopped at a vending machine, got some more French fries, hurried so that way I could get to the containers that I bought at the auction. I needed to get them cleaned out so that way they wouldn't despawn. I started with the ugly lamp, as my wife called it. I emptied all the crates and I laid it out on my lawn. It almost looks like a yard sale, but at least I know that they won't despawn with the crates. I then called it a night and we headed into the next day. Thursday I rushed to the offices because I was eager to rent out the 2 houses I had just purchased. The first guy tried to lowball me, so I told him to take a bite. The second guy waited too long, so he left. I rented to the guy behind him for 20 days, and I rented the other house to the lady for 23 days. I then checked my mail, opened up my skills, and purchased my first skill, which was getting me a lawyer just in case somebody decided they didn't want to pay rent. Next up, I collected the rent for the 2 people that I already had in houses. Looked for a new house to continue growing our empire. I managed to get one for $8,000, which pretty much cleared us out, but we'll soon get everything back. Then it was time to do the same old cleanup, take some pictures, post it, and that way we can get this house out for rent. I then stopped by a vending machine to get some more food. I then took a bus home because I was ready to call it a night. Friday, I rushed over to my office, cleaned it up quickly, and managed to rent out the last remaining house. I then hopped on a bus, started collecting rent. Decided I would treat myself to go to the casino. Played some blackjack since it's about the only game I knew how to play, and seemed more fun than pulling a slot handle. Managed to do pretty well. Won my first hand, so I figured I'd give it another shot. Somehow managed to get my second hand to win. I continued playing and eventually worked my way up to 22,000. I lost it, and in the last-ditch effort to make the wife happy, I bet one last time and I hit it big. Got all my money back and we called it a night. The 6th day, which was Saturday, I went to talk to my wife and see what was up. Apparently she was busy, and figured I'd ask what she was doing. Well, turns out she's working, so I decided it was time to collect some rent. With all the money that we brought in from the blackjack table and the rent, it was time to pick up another house. So I worked out a deal the best I could, as low as price as we could, which ended up accepting at $24,500. We then cleaned up the house, took some pictures like normal, had it posted. But this house, I decided I was going to charge $4,000 instead of the $35,000 or $37,000 or anything else. I wanted to maximize how much I was getting with this house. I then ran home and along the way stopped and decided to move the display in a better place, grabbed some French fries, continued home. I was eager to start my Sunday, so I ran downstairs and headed for my office. hoping that there would be somebody there. Nobody showed up, so I decided, I'll collect the rent and maybe come back later. As I approached the last house for the day, it turned out that he didn't have the rent. My wife was very adamant that we make him pay, but after the first time of kind of twisting his arm, he still couldn't pay. So we decided, we'll give him another shot. I then went home and called it a night, and thus ends our first week in Estate Agent Simulator. If you enjoyed the video, please don't forget to like. And you can always subscribe, that helps. Sharing, that does a thing. Either way, thank you for giving me the time and watching this here video.